The sky above New Argos station hummed with celebration lights. In the Grand Plaza, thousands of Xbox citizens cheered. Broadcast towers flashed. Earth is defeated. Flags with the imperial crest waved everywhere. Music boomed from speakers. Colorful ribbons drifted through the air like confetti in zero gravity. The Xbox Empire had won. Their soldiers had invaded Earth 20 years ago, crushing Earth's defenses and conquering every capital city. Now Earth lay in ruins. Its governments broken, its people surrendered. The Empire's fleets controlled every orbit. The Xbox Emperor's voice had declared victory from the palace on Mars Prime. Tonight, all the Empire's worlds celebrated. On the stage, General Mortakiro of the Earth campaign stood tall. His armor gleamed under the straws. His voice echoed. Today we celebrate not blood but will. We showed strength. We showed unity. We showed the galaxy that Empire endures. The crowd roared approval. In the distance, ships painted with Earth's broken shield glowed in deliverance. People screamed. Drums pounded. Dancers spun up, but in one hidden corner, General Mordok's wife watched in silent pride. She held a small tablet showing satellite feeds, camera views from below Earth's rubble. In the broken cities, she saw tiny lights. A signal beacon hidden in the debris feeding a steady pulse into space. The lights blinked once, then twice, then faded from her feed. She frowned. It was not part of the broadcast. Far from the celebration, on a moon of Jupiter, the Empire's news hub flashed updates. In every sector, screen after screen proclaimed Earth's assimilation complete. But one thread of static routed into a research lab. Dr. Zari, the lead forensic linguist, paused her dictation. She stared at one display. A small red dot drifting on coordinates, corresponding to a deep crater in Africa. The pulse repeated, once per second. Earth beacon, active. Zari's datapad glowed. Silence rippled through the labs. Her assistant swallowed. This can't be, Zari whispered. Earth isn't allowed to signal. The assistant tapped the screen. Possible salvage, or new life. We need verification. Zari nodded grimly. Run everything. Back at the celebrating plaza, the music faded. The Emperor's voice cut through loudspeakers. Let every citizen know. Earth no longer sends signals. Any beacon is forbidden. This celebration marks the end of a threat or threats bow to the Xbox Empire. The people cheered, but General Mortok's wife clenched her jaw. The hum in the crowd felt offbeat against the momentum. Something had changed at the Empire's military command center. Hundreds of officers monitored satellites over Earth. The screens glowed green. Until one flickered red dot. Lieutenant Corin snapped to attention. Signal detected. Pulse on 12.345 GHz coordinates at Earth sector asteroid crater Alpha 7. General Horlan paced sharply. Check frequency. Is that the same for pre-war distress? Confirm. Lieutenant Corin shook his head. It's older modulation. Earth emergency style dated, but it's active, sir. Horlan tapped his datapad. Mobilize a ship. Send a probe. I want silence. On Earth, deep under the wastelands of the Sahara crater, engineers worked late. The tunnel walls glowed with solar batteries and alien parts scavenged from battle wrecks. They had built a beacon-to-way communication gear. Its pulse was meant to warn any friendly forces, but no allies had arrived for decades. The team leader, Captain Rana, watched the feed nervously. She had fought with pre-war armies. She had a medal on her coat. Sound off signal, she said, voice tired. A small speaker crackled. Her command replied, beacons copy, we're on standby. Rana placed her hand on the beacon. If the Empire comes for us, she paused, voice trembling, they will kill us. She buried her face in her hands. Aboard a damp Empire survey ship orbiting Earth, Commander Laina monitored the crater region. The sensors showed light faint electrical hum. She reported down, General, we found a live human beacon underground. It wasn't deactivated and surrender communication. What are our orders? General Horlan responded quickly, silence it. Send an inspection team. Offer surrender. If refused, destroy. That night, the inspection shuttle descended through Earth's smog. Its lights pierced the dust. It docked with the hidden beacon station. 2 soldiers disembarked blasters, ready. They pounded the door. Captain Rana opened it, hands raised. She spoke through the mic. We surrender. We asked mercy. Silence. The soldiers turned their rifles at her. The shuttle's back hatch opened. Rana dropped her hands. What do you want? They marched her past lights and cables. One soldier whispered, signal is still active. Another added, they're sending a reply. Rana leaned forward. They're offering terms. The soldier glanced up. What terms? Captain Rana answered softly. Mutual disarmament. Recognition of survivors. She paused. A meeting with the Emperor. At Mars Prime's palace. The Emperor sat in gold robes. General Mortak stood with her. Empress Mortak began. They've reactivated the beacon. They want terms. The Empress closed her eyes. She pressed her hands together. My mother taught me, mercy builds more empires than war. But her face hardened. We cannot let humans rewrite history. We choose war. Order a strike. At the crater base, the soldiers brought Rana before the shuttle's viewport. Earth's ruined surface framed her. The radio sparked. Her voice echoed. Expax. Fathers conquered. We submit. We ask inclusion. We ask return from the ashes. We ask your mercy. Behind her, engineers prayed silently. One wiped a tear. One soldier tapped his helmet. Orders. The commanding officer stared at the beacon. Station, blinking brightly, still sending signals, but at last, silent. He rasped. They are disarmed. They submit. You may escort them back. Back on the stage of New Argos, the Empress announced, Earth's survivors have surrendered. We shall bring them into the Empire's fold. The crowd cheered again. Fireworks erupted, but General Mortak's wife stood tense. The lights felt hollow now. In secret, Dr. Zari waited for confirmation from Earth sensors. The beacon station ceased transmission, but she watched something far worse. A second pulse flickered on a different channel undetected by the Empire scanners. She grabbed her sleeve. This isn't victory, she whispered, voice low. The room's other scientists exchanged frightened glances. Gods help them, Zari said. On Earth, deep in the tunnels, Captain Rana placed her hand on the beacon control. She keyed in a code Zor 80 blaze. A second terminal lit up, humming softly. Send. Memory wave, she commanded. A small pulse echoed through the planet's crust. It was not a message to the Empire. It was a message to other hidden survivors, still alive but now hidden in deep mountains, collapsed labs, alien-shielded farms, a silent rally. We are here, we remember. Above, the Empire's fleets gleamed in formation around Earth's orbit. Their crews celebrated, but the halo was poised ready to fire orders. General Horlan watched the feeds. His face twisted. He tapped his desk. Sir, a signal. Another one, from another site. A squad of Earth survivors is moving out. The Empress, on video feed, raised a finger. He continued. It's not a surrender. They're rallying. The Empress's jaw locked. She tapped her console. Deploy squads. Quell them. Earth is our victory. Mordak's wife whispered in her ear. They begged, but they may never stop. The Empress stood and said, clear and cold, then make them stop. The celebration lights across New Argos dimmed slowly. The public cheer fell silent as word filtered in. Earth, ... beacon ... renewed buzz. General Mortak's voice came over the broadcast. Tonight we celebrate victory, but in victory we must watch the shadows. He pressed the mic again. Expax Empire, we stand ready to offer mercy, but to defend our triumph. May Earth survivors join us, but may all know we do not forget rebellion. The lights behind him flickered like embers. Somewhere deep under Earth's red dust, the beacon blinked again. The Empire's celebration lights faded, but in the silent ruins of Earth, a different world stirred. Underneath the shattered surface of what once was New Sahara, Captain Rana paced through steel corridors. Walls hummed with power lines, recycled air lit with green algae lamps. Thousands of survivors lived here, engineers, doctors, children, people who refused to die after conquest. She paused at a glass panel revealing Earth above. Craters scarred its surface. Storm's dust swept the ruins, but somewhere beyond lay hidden enclaves where humans survived. She tapped her comm unit. Sector leaders, we launch in 1 hour. Beacons active, ships prepped. From behind, a voice responded. Understood. We follow your lead. That voice belonged to Dr. Eli Vance, once a university scientist, now restless leader of Earth's hidden legacy. He carried hope in his eyes and fear in his heart. In a dim vault nearby, a small fleet of human ships waited. 5 vessels, once buried beneath skyscraper foundations, now reinforced and equipped with ancient and repurposed alien tech. HULLs bore the pocked scars of war. One had a hand-painted insignia. Returner. Technicians hurried. Lacework of cables connected to launch tubes. Every ship waited for the final command. Far above, in New Argos Station, Empire scout relays blinked. Reports showed activity. Faint heat signatures over Sahara crater. General Mortak's wife, Commander Sire Mortak, watched the feeds. They are moving, she said quietly, not hiding. An aide responded. Exactly, ma'am. They're emerging intentionally. She nodded. They prepare for something big. On Earth, sunlight flickered through cracks far above. Beacons pulsed one station after another. On the command deck, Dr. Vance announced, "Launch in 5. This is not a war. It's a reminder. We won't start a battle we cannot win, but we will show we survived." Rana and Vance stepped aboard the flagship returner, while hundreds watched through station monitors. "Godspeed," they heard, and then the hatch sealed. Moments later, the returner launched. Rockets fired, dust roared, then silence. A strong hum, then the cloak engaged. The ship slipped into the abyss. Behind them, the other vessels, Alum, Guardian, Hope, Legacy followed, each cloaked and silent. Within Earth's depths, the survivors bowed their heads in prayer. It was part farewell, not to strike, but to remember that humanity still burned, orbiting New Argos. Commander Sire Mortok received reports. "They moved under stealth," said an officer. "Sensors lost contact." She pressed her lips together. "Hunt them, but discreetly. Display force, but don't shoot first." Miles away, in a Cheddar-licensed Xbox Pleasure Dome, citizens cheered. They admired celebratory holoplayers of Earth ruins, completely unaware of what stirred underneath. A reporter gloated, "They celebrate death, but Earth, they'll fade forever." But out beyond the station's patrol radius, a single Xbox cruiser picked at signals. Captain Yolan frowned at the screen. "Writing protocols say they fired weapon frequency upon surfacing, not surrendering." His co-pilot looked up. "They're rebroadcasting pre-war frequencies. That signals intent." Yolan tapped, "Keep eyes on them, but do not engage. First contact is still a risky word." The returner drifted toward orbit. The bridge crew watched cameras. They revealed nothing from the outside, but internal displays glowed temperature, oxygen, waveforms. Rana tapped the console. "Prepare the hail." She watched the channel flicker. "This is Captain Rana of Earth's remnant code ships. We stand unarmed. We request entry into orbit. We speak to your council." Silence. For long seconds. Static. And then, "Hold position. Comply with instructions." A Xbox voice came, formal but tense. Returner responded, "Understood." Below, the station cut communications. A team escorted returner into docking port. Sensors scanned hull. Guards assembled. Rana emerged alone, white earth tone uniform visible. The docking bay hummed with Xbox guards. She raised her hand. "I come with peace." Her voice echoed in multiple tongues. Guards lowered weapons but did not stand down. A nearby officer whispered, "Report to Emperors," and she was led away. Inside a secure chamber, an armored Xbox envoy awaited. He studied Rana, with measured tone. "You have beacons fired. You have ships in orbit. What is your purpose?" "Survivor." Rana responded quietly. "We survived. We have no weapons aimed at you. We ask only to be part of your order. We ask for recognition. We ask for memory, nothing more." The envoy scoffed. "Recognition of what? You fought. You hid. Now you strike a bargain." Rana held steady. "We did not strike. We surfaced. We showed we live. We offer cooperation. We share knowledge. We ask only to return from the ruins as people, not enemies." He paused, considering. She added, "Count our weapons. Search our hulls. Nothing offensive remains." He nodded to guards. "We will comply." "Then come to the palace at dawn." General Mortak's wife watched the feed. "This is bigger than a message," she said. "They want a seat at the table." Her aide replied, "Yes, ma'am. We'll bring them in, but control the optics." At dawn, the returner was escorted through sky bridges into Grand Palace halls. Earth survivors walked among Xbox citizens, securious and confused. They sat before the Emperor's dais, where she gazed down in regal silence. At her side stood General Mort, a.k. Rana stood. She spoke clearly. "Emperor, we honor your victory. We accept Earth under your rule. But we ask this, to speak not only of submission but of existence. We ask to live as humans, not ruins." The Emperor studied her, scepter in hand. "Your courage is unexpected," she said softly. "You stand here unarmed. You want nothing." Rana nodded. "Nothing but life." The chamber fell silent. Ministers whispered. At last the Emperor spoke. "You will receive mercy. We will allow your people to live within Empire's law, but no fleets, no autonomy. You remain under our flag." A wave of applause echoed. Mordok nodded stiffly. Rana bowed. "We accept. Thank you." Back aboard Earth's station, Tex observed glumly. Dr. Vance tapped his display. "We kept our weapons gutted. We show we obey. But does that protect us? Or erase us?" Rana sat quietly. "We only survive. The rest we will find later." In the X-Bax prize-giving celebration, Emperor stood and announced, "Let it be known, Earth remnant has been spared. They shall live under our empire, proof of our mercy." Cheers resumed, but in Earth's fleet, lights dimmed, hope stayed alive, but warnings still pulsed through their systems. That evening, Commander Sire Mortok sought out Rana in Orbit Station Gardens. She offered a cup. "You've done well." Rana held it. "We did what we must." Sire hesitated. "You still walk among ruins. I hope you do not fade into them." Rana looked up. "We will grow again." Sire nodded. "I believe you." Far below, in the desert tunnels, survivors listened to news. Earth people allowed to live again, but they remained subjects. Eyes glistened with pride. Others whispered doubt. Dr. Vance hugged a child. "We begin again." In orbit, the returners' crew gathered. They looked down at Earth's scarred face. Rana stepped forward. "Today we returned. We asked merely to live. But we will not forget who we are." She touched the ship's hull. "This is only the beginning." Below, a beacon station began pulsing again on a different frequency coded only for hidden enclaves. The message: "We are many. We are here." Across empire worlds, whispers spread. Earth has people again. Not conquer able-united. Some cheered, some feared, some plotted. But in Earth's hidden vaults, a merge of human voices spoke together. "We will remember, and we will return." The newly formed alliance celebrated Earth's survivors, living under X-Bax rule, but beneath the calm, nerves tingled. Ancient power stirred again. Captain Rana walked the returners' dim corridors. The ship hummed with red systems online, sensors tuned, engineers tightened panels. Each crew member carried hidden hope in their eyes. She paused at a viewport showing New Argo's station orbiting Earth, majestic yet alien. The planet below glowed blue-gray under dust clouds, but tonight, for the first time in centuries, humans struggled to stand as more than remnants. Steam hissed from vents. The ship's AI announced, "All networks green, awaiting orders." On the palace balcony, Emperor Zoraxa and General Mortak's wife Commander Xiao watched the station. They had agreed to Earth's conditional surrender, but still, fear gripped them. Mortok whispered. They obeyed, but they still remember. Sire nodded, voice low. "If they want to fully belong, they must prove it." The Emperor looked distant. "Let them prove it. But we will be ready." Deep within the returner, confidential officer Eli Vance hovered over blueprints. He kept the real plan hidden, stored on offline drives. But even he felt the tension. He tapped the screen. "We've waited long. Now let's return their surprise." He shared a quiet nod with Rana. She smiled delicately. "Tomorrow night we strike military, not civilians." He clenched his fist, just enough to remind them, and the galaxy. That night, Earth's crews gathered. The bridge glowed soft. They began their countdown. System checks complete. Cloak systems activated. Weapons restraints still locked. They only carried one purpose: shake illusions of comfort. Rana moved through the ship. She pressed her palm on the insignia. "May this be our only war." Beyond orbit, the Empire's new patrol ships scanned Earth's surface. 2 cruisers flew wide arcs. On one, Captain Yoren watched feeds. He scanned Earth's night side, searching for lights. He saw a glimmer of something. Infrared lit in heat signatures, not sparks of rebellion, but blocks of engines preparing below. Yoren frowned. He tapped his communicator. "General sensors detect emerging movement on Earth's surface, not abandonment." Mortak's voice answered coldly. "Monitor. Do not engage. Report back." Back on returner, the crew felt the tremor. In space pressure waves, the whole ship vibrated once. Engineers whispered, "They're sweeping for our signal." Rana tightened her grip on the rail. She breathed slowly. "Stand ready," she said. "We begin." At 0 hour, cloaked ships disengaged. 6 vessels emerged on the opposite side of the patrol ship. Silently, returner's voice on com. "Empire, this is returner. We deliver a message." A hushed pause. Then a pulse of EMP flashed through space. One patrol ship went dark. The other staggered. Alarms flared. Weapons offline. Returner released a transmission. "X-Bax, you took our planet. You imprisoned our people. You erased our story. This is your reward. Power does not silence us." The patrol ships drifted. Tempers flared in X-Bax command. Mortok barked, "Declare alert. Ready weapons." General Horlan replied, "But they struck the military, no lives lost." They followed. Terms. Mortok ground his teeth. "They are like ghosts. They obey, but they signal defiance." On the destroyed cruiser, crews scrambled. Alarms blared. Commander Yoron faced the emptiness left by the EMP. He realized they had been shown limit. On his console flash, "We can kill you any time." He spoke quietly, Let them retreat, we warn them. Returner retreated to cloaked entry orbit. The fleet Illume, Guardian, Hope, Legacy drifted around Earth. Rana radioed again. Expax Council, you are safe. Our message is final. We do not ask more, but we will be heard. Communication quieted. On New Argos, the Emperor watched feeds from both ships and patrol ships. General Mordok and Sire stood beside her. Mordok said, they followed their vow, struck only military. They obey, but they also announced power. Sire asked, what do we do? The Emperor's voice was around them, calm and firm. We open our eyes, we accept this. We will call it what it is. Warning of intent. We cannot arrest their defiance, but we will never betray peace. The next day, under planet's dawn, Nelson sent a broadcast. Earth's survivors delivered military casualties. Panic rippled through patrol fleet. The Alliance took note. Some cheered, some whispered, they have returned. Some worried, they may not stop. In council halls across Empire worlds, meetings surged. Would they honor the surrender, or retaliate? Many feared war, but none would admit they had already begun one. Back inside Returner, crew gathered on a deck, eyes bright with impact. Eli Vance spoke. We made them see us again, not as conquered, not as broken. We are alive and we still fight. Rana nodded. Yes, but we must follow through. Tomorrow we seek talks. We demand real seat at table. She stepped onto the bridge. From Earth orbit, she looked down at the blue planet. She whispered, we are visible now. We cannot hide. Now we reclaim our future. Captain Rana stood on the bridge of Returner, watching the readouts. Every indicator glowed green, yet tension crackled in the air. Their surprise strike had sent a message: humanity still lived. But what came next? Behind her, Dr. Eli Vance studied sensor logs. They didn't fire right back, he said quietly, but fleets are mobilizing. Rana nodded. Then diplomacy begins. We met their warning. Now they ask for our truth, and ours asks for clarity. Above Earth, the orbiting Expax patrol ships lingered. One crew regained power and sent urgent status. All non-lethal. We have a delivery message, not an annihilation. General Mortak reviewed this with cold focus. He spoke to a Hala of the Emperor. They delivered. Now they want to negotiate. The Emperor's face stayed serene. Then we open channel. But our posture holds steel, she added softly. Our empire stands, but we invite truth. Back on Mirrodin Station, in a secure briefing room, diplomats and settlers crowded. The Expax envoy addressed a small assembly of council, leaders and Earth survivors. He spoke. Earth survivors acted within surrender terms, but they demonstrated power. They require more than mercy. They want role. We must decide how to engage. A Voltan diplomat frowned. They act like equals already. Our allies worry they broke treaty. A Rustian mediator interjected. They didn't fire on civilians. They fulfilled military threshold. Let's grant them a council set under limits. The Expax envoy paused. We will require oversight. No fleet deployments. No secret ships. Rana's voice rang clear. We expect only transparency. No suspicions. We want to see our people safe. On the Returner, the 6 ships formed an orbital pattern near Earth. In the shared communications lounge, crews watched. Hails from many worlds. Friend and foe listened. A bleary commander from Expax Naval Intelligence logged in. If we lose face, we lose control. We must reframe this. Earth's strong, but they still surrendering. Another soldier replied. They can't threaten us. Again, we still control space lanes. A soft voice from across room. But if they show mercy too, they may unite worlds, not divide. Rana leaned forward. This was bigger than Earth. This was turning the galaxy. On Earth's surface, refugees began to emerge from survival shelters. Dust-caked survivors walked out to see ships overhead. For the first time since conquest, ground crews heard children exclaim, "They came back for us." But among cheers were anxious faces. Many saw the ships as conquerors, others as saviors. Captain Rana broadcast across all local networks. You matter. We returned not to conquer Earth again, but to reclaim it. We will stand between you and any threat. Expax or other. Trust us. We'll earn it. Back in space, Expax Admiral Garox led patrol ships in a display pattern around Earth from his bridge. He watched Returner orbit silently. He spoke to his XO. Keep them circled, but don't encroach. If they step over, we stop them. The XO replied. They keep communication open, not weapons. But this is far from forgiven. In the council halls, a vote was taken. The resolution: grant Earth survivors provisional council status, provide oversight, and set a 6-month review. Military deployments barred within that period, unless XBAX declares impending threat. Rana accepted the vote and sent her own counter-proposal. Allow Earth to deploy SHIELD satellites around their settlements and remote stations, under joint inspection. The vote paused. The XBAX envoy looked across at Earth survivors. He said softly, "They have strength, but do they respect limits?" Rana replied firmly, "Strength without limits is tyranny. We will guard the vulnerable, refuse power for power's sake." The vote resumed and passed narrowly. That night, Returner's crew listened for news. Some cheered, some wept, some, like engineers, continued wiring the SHIELD beacon consoles. They knew real work began today. Rana walked the corridors, passing medical crews handing out ration bars to station civilians. She nodded at a group of children playing inside. A quiet bay. She knew Earth's future would begin here. Back on Meridian Station, the Council's highest chamber convened. Earth survivors now had a small delegation to seats. This was unprecedented. They would speak again in a week's session. Everyone awaited. Would Earth's survivors bring justice? Will they extract vengeance? Or will this be beginnings of peace? In a quiet docking bay, Commander Saya Mortok met Rana again. She gave her a small box. Inside, a single crystal cresta gift from the Emperor. A note reads, "This universe is changed. Together we will chart a new way." Bit her lip, she replied, "Thank you. But we forge our path with compassion, not concession." Saya nodded. "Then let this be our guardrail." On Returner's bridge, systems hummed. All indicators spoke calm. But sensors showed XBAX patrols still hovering. Rana spoke into Hololink. "Admiral Gerox, we welcome oversight. Our shields sit ready. If they detect threats, they will defend Earth, not challenge Empire." Gerox responded, "We understand. We continue guard the sky, not restrict it." Both nodded and disconnected. While the officials met above, Dr. Vance oversaw SHIELD systems. He eyed the readouts nervously. "They're online," he breathed. Rana placed a hand on his shoulder. "We show we will defend, but we don't aim to conquer. We don't breach treaties." He nodded. She hoped that was true. At dawn, Earth's first SHIELD beacon activated above a remote settlement. Alerts lit across XBAX and Council nets. Everyone watched. The planet glowed. SHIELD shimmered soft and steady. A symbol of rebuilding. Defense, not dominance. Rana transmitted across the galaxy. "This is Earth. We protect ourselves and others. We do not wield war. We wield peace." Across worlds, newscasts played. Earth returns and arms with shields, not weapons. Council votes in provisional status. Earth acknowledged. XBAX patrols monitor peace. Trust remains fragile. On Returner's deck, Rana looked up at the news. Among them was Earth Meridian Station, XBAX capital, symbols of a new alliance, and still a fragile balance. She knew battle lines had shifted. Humanity was no longer in ruins, but still proving they could be trusted. She spoke softly. "Ripples of war happened. Now we rise above them." The council hall on Meridian Station hummed with anticipation. Rows of delegates from dozens of worlds sat in hush. Earth's provisional delegation, Captain Rana, Dr. Eli Vance, and 2 aides stood at the front, their faces calm but determined. Above them, the XBAX flag flew beside Earth's scarred but hopeful emblem. The vote had passed. Earth won a seat, but trust was fragile. Now, Earth planned to demand more, not through weapons, but through law. Captain Rana tapped the holopanel before her. She cleared her voice. "Today, we invoke the Reckoning Protocol." A murmur rose. Earth had used this ancient clause only once before, by no accident. They didn't demand surrender. They demanded justice, fairness, and truth. A Voltan delegate raised a concern. "The word reckoning means punishment. Are you seeking vengeance?" Rana shook her head. "No, we use the word to mean accountability, not to punish, but to protect." She met their eyes. After Earth fell, assets were seized. Archives were locked. Refugees were ignored. "We ask for fair restitution and respect." She tapped the panel. The screen showed 5 demands. Return of seized assets, Starin cultural items, and centuries-old archives. Access to lost data, personnel records, genetic archives, project files. Support fund technology, medical aid to restore Earth's people. Restoration permission, land, air, water must be allowed to heal without interference. Apology and understanding, official recognition of what happened in the war. The screen displays calm lines, but beneath them lay negotiation or fire. The Rustian mediator cleared his throat. "These demands are heavy. Return of property, archives, finance, apology, some call it a ransom, Rana responded firmly. No ransom. We ask for what was taken. Every treaty has two sides. We return to the table with truth, not guilt. On the sidelines, X-Pax envoys whispered. Some looked at Earth's emblem as a claim. Others glared at the human delegation. A X-Pax military officer called out, "If we hand over what you ask, what prevents future demands?" Rana replied, "We bring a closing clause. Our demands end here. We do not ask more." The High Consul of the Council rose. "This is an unprecedented request. The Reckoning Protocol has never been invoked in our lifetimes. We will vote after 1 hour of debate." Words swept across Meridan. Humanity was using a heavy tool, but resolutely. In the hallway, Captain Rana spoke to Dr. Vance. "Some see this as greed, others see justice. Our truth is simple. We rebuild, but we also recover." Dr. Vance nodded. "Security rests on fairness. We rebuild trust from broken promises." At a nearby kiosk, X-Pax families watched via halas. Some applauded, others gasped. An old X-Pax historian whispered to her companion, "Perhaps this is mercy in law. Perhaps we owe more." Inside the council, debates raged. The Voltans offered compromise, gradual repayment. The Rustians demanded stricter ceilings. But X-Pax proposed delaying large requests until after a monitoring period. Rana listened, confident. When her turn came, "We stand by everything. We will accept phased returns for property, data, and funding. But apologies and restoration must happen now." The chamber fell silent. A pause lengthened. A final vote was called. One by one, systems flipped. Yes, yes, yes. When the final vote lit yes, Earth's delegation breathed deep. The Reckoning Protocol passed. Murmurs of amazement echoed. First time in 5,000 years, Earth wins justice. Can peace come after power? Rana stepped forward. "Thank you. We will work with the Council to implement these clauses. Each demand will be handled transparently under joint review." She met the X-Pax delegate. Their eyes locked, and both nodded. That evening, the returner hung quietly in orbit. Down below, people opened encrypted channels. Teams of lawyers, historians, diplomats, and engineers assembled. Inside, Eli Vance reviewed spreadsheets of looted data. Beneath them lay losses, hospitals dismantled, universities shut down, histories erased. It felt personal but also righteous. Rana joined him. "I hope they realize we seek restoration, not control." He nodded. "This war was won with weapons. We want to finish it with law." Below, on Earth's surface, teams began planting memory gardens, satellite arrays to process stolen signals, public works to restore clean water, memorial columns to honor loss and survival. Children asked their parents, "Why now?" Mothers answered, "Because Earth remembered itself, and demanded to be remembered." In orbit, Admiral Garox of X-Pax watched proceedings via Holla. He pressed his console thoughtfully. His XO asked, "Did we lose prestige?" Garox shook his head. "We kept our empire but gained no enemies. We lost a little face, and maybe grew a galaxy," his XO added. "This might silence future conflicts." Garox nodded. "Let us hope." Back on Myridan Station, Talia, Earth's newest diplomat, tapped notifications in her CumHub. Restitution schedules, data transfers, engineering teams deployed. She smiled. She whispered, "Reckoning done. Now begins the better part." Captain Rana stood before her team in briefing again. She said, "We invoked our rights. We secured them. Now we build. We need engineering teams for Mars, water purification for Earth, data restorers for lost projects. We will show partners we are not just survivors, we are contributors." Eli Vance added, "We see wrongs. Now we fix them." They hugged their shoulders and left the deck ready to work. On the station plaza, crowds watched events. Aliens and humans mingled. A X-Pax child asked her mother, "Will Earth build our planet too?" Her mother replied, "Maybe one day they will help, but only if we invite them." The child looked at Earth's delegation. They were not rulers, but hopeful. That night in the memorial square, Captain Rana lit a lantern for Earth's lost children. She whispered, "We remember, we rebuild, we do not conquer, we only love." That is Earth's new signal. In the galaxy's data streams, news flashed. Reckoning Protocol invoked by Earth. First repayment begins next cycle. Civil Restitution Act begins in 2 weeks. A message came to the returner's deck. "Congratulations, your people will return to Earth soon." Rana smiled. "Yes, and not as subjugated but as rightful partners." She looked out at the stars. "May this be our signal. Justice builds trust." The returner drifted over Earth's battered surface, its shadow crossing scarred landscapes. Below, rivers once dead quivered again. Cities of rubble gave way to new green shoots. Humanity's return was more than military or was rebirth. Captain Rana gazed at the world plateaus rising from dust. Her voice resonated over the ship's internal com. Activate Project Eden. All teams report in orbit. X-Pax survey vessels watched with careful attention. Now designated as monitor, ships not satellites of war. Admiral Garrox communicated. On channel returner, we note your progress. Continue restoration. We stand by. Rana replied. Thank you, Admiral. We welcome any help. Below, fields of human-made turbines spun on windswept plains. Dr. Vance walked alongside X-Pax engineer in Ara, showing water purification units. The engineer marveled at Earth designs. These are simple and strong, she said. Vance smiled. Earth had to survive before we hid underground. Now we return with tools, not weapons. Inara nodded. Your return is cautious and kind. On Mars Prime, reconstruction crews repaired the palace runway where Earth delegations docked daily. Architect Kesha X-Pax, the site, he tapped his datapad. Rebuilding for Earth lives again. They replace Lost World, as we once replace home turf. His assistant asked, will Earth remain under our flag? Kesh considered, they rebuild on their ground. But sovereignty like rebuilding grows naturally. Back on Earth, a memorial plaza was taking shape. Survivors and volunteers planted trees, laid stones for the lost, and sketched murals of ancient battles and hopeful futures. Among them was Captain Rana, kneeling to press a sapling into the soil. She whispered to the Earthborn child next to her, planting roots again for Earth's children. X-Pax and Earth crews worked side by side. Transport shuttles moved, seeds, water pumps, solar arrays. The media broadcast live images of storm clouds forming again over deserts, algae restoring lakes. Across worlds, people saw Earth heal in real time. On Miradon Station, the Council celebrated a reconstruction accord sighting, restored farmland, clean water, return of native species. Infrastructure rebuildrunner addressed the Council. We did not come to take. We came to nurture. Let these actions speak louder than any treaty. Delegates applauded. Some teary, rusty an envoy said, you lead through service. That is new strength. But even in this renewal, tension stirred. Rebel group calling themselves the Firstborn had sprung up in hidden colonies. They opposed any X-Pax involvement in Earth's affairs. On a hidden tabloid, they declared, Earth for Earth, no imperial help. They hacked colony nets, viraled messages of independence. Others saw it not rebellion but survival. Captain Rana received the alert aboard returner, a group claims, to sabotage water plants. She leaned forward, where the reply, North Crater settlements. They say external resistance is unwanted. Rana frowned. Set a team there, no weapons. We listen first. A team landed in a dusty commune. Men and women held makeshift signs, leave Earth in peace. Their eyes were wary but not angry. Rana stepped forward. I hear your voices. You fear we rebuild for others, not Earth. A rebel spokesman answered. We believe Earth's renewal is ours to shape. We want no flags in our sky. Rana nodded. Then we won't stay. We will step back, but Earth still needs repair. We only help if asked. After discussion, they agreed. One settlement would be Earth-run only. Earth crews would rebuild on other sites only upon local requests. The rebels dispersed, murmuring, perhaps this is real change. Meanwhile, on Mars Prime, a group of traditionalists questioned Earth's restoration. They whispered to officials, are we too soft? The Emperor consulted General Mo. We accepted Earth's return. We stand by our mercy. Mordok responded. They are rebuilding, not rearming. Let them back. On returner, Dr. Vance monitored terraforming sensors. He watched as algae blooms turned seas blue. He closed his eyes and breathed. Rana joined him in silence. Finally she said, we return Earth to itself so X-Pax does not hold it forever. He nodded. A sovereign world, healed by its people. At the Council Plaza on Miradon, memorial ceremonies took place. Earth and X-Pax flags flew at equal height. People laid flowers at statues showing Earthborn children and X-Pax allies planting together. The Chancellor made remarks. Earth once fell, now it rises with unity. That is hope for all races. Delegates offered to join seed-planting missions across galaxies, turning Mars deserts, ice moons, barren worlds into life. That night, Captain Rana prepared a final log update. She spoke softly. Project Eden is underway. Water, food, shelters, memories all return home. We stand modest. but present. Our path is peace and rebuilding. She ended the log. Lieutenant Mara, young Earth navigator, sighed in relief. We have returned and we build again. In orbit, returner received orders, stay on station for 1 week, then begin Earth system oversight. XBAX ships would remain in patrol but under joint command. Rana looked at the hologrid showing missions. She paused. This is Earth's new order, not silent ruins, but living planet. Later, she walked in the memorial woods planted on Earth. Seeds hung like lights in trees. Birds chirped in birch leaves. She smiled, touching a root. Then she looked to the sky there. Silver satellites glided above. They belong to all people now. She whispered to herself, we are Earth's guardians, now true to promise. The sunrise above Earth was different now. Twin shield beacons glowed softly around settlements. In the blue sky, cargo ships from other worlds passed overhead carrying seeds, tools, and medicines. Captain Rana stood at the orbital window of Returner, watching a fleet of diverse ships approach. XBAX vessels, Vulcan freighters, rusty and scientific cruisers, all coming to offer help. Behind her, Dr. Eli Vance and diplomat Talia waited. Talia smiled. They came on their own. Vance nodded. That's what cooperation looks like. Across the council hall on Mirrodin Station, headlines read, Earth recovery sparks cooperation and allies volunteer aid ships. Vulcan envoy Meris spoke of floating hospitals. Rustian scientists promised genome restoration. XBAX engineers offered structural repair. Even smaller worlds offered grains from their farms. A unity summit was called to coordinate all aid. Earth's delegation joined with allies to mark the first global coalition since the Reckoning Protocol. At the center of the summit, Captain Rana spoke. We heal Earth. We don't heal by ourselves. We heal together. Every grain, drop, and seed will carry others' care back on Earth. The first joint aid ship landed near a small community in what was once the Amazon forest area. Trees had been dead for years. Now, shallow roots reached for water again. Captain Rana stepped down, flanked by XBAX engineer Inara and Vulcan medic Drix. They passed a gleaming structure, a mobile water purifier built by Rustian engineers. Children watched. Some touched the pipes, adults cleaned their hands. It was not conquest, was care. Inara said softly to Rana. Look at this. Water flows again. Rana smiled. This is peace in action. A line formed. Locals, refugees, survivors, they received rations, medical checks, seeds. A Vulcan medic bandaged an old man's foot. A Rustian scientist asked children to drop seed capsules into soil patches. Above them, a sign read, Earth Aid Coalition. Meanwhile, in orbit of Homeworld, Admiral Garrox watched reports. XBAX engineers on board were abroad working with Earth too. Some traditionalists criticized, we free Earth but we teach them our tech. Garrox replied, we don't teach conquest, we teach rebuilding. He looked proud. Let our ships heal worlds, not fight them. On the Returner, a council meeting took place. Present were Rana, Vance, Talia, and allied envoys. Talia reviewed the aid manifest. Rustians bring native plants. Vulcan brings medical pods. XBAX brings water turbines. We also have small teams from 3 smaller worlds sending tech volunteers. A Rustian envoy said, we hope to restore your mountain ranges. A Vulcan elder added, and help with atmospheric repair. Dr. Vance tapped his datapad. We build Earth, we build unity. Rana concluded, our purpose is not to repay. It is to show trust seed by seed. But not all were pleased on XBAX's traditionalist council wing. A voice rose. Why aid Earth so much? This planet is ours now. Another agreed. They still depend on us. They'll never be free. In Malgoth, a Rustian soldier typed secretly, this coalition may shift loyalty away from us. Even in a rebel web from Earth's firstborn group, they posted, foreign hands in Earth's soil is another occupation. That night, Captain Rana walked in a forest of young saplings planted by Unity teams. Alien and human volunteers carried lanterns. In the faint glow, children laughed as woodpeckers tapped. Rana paused next to Dr. Eli Vance. Quietly, did we do wrong? She whispered. Are we conquering again? He shook his head. We invited them. She looked up. Have we invited too much? He smiled gently. They offered. You asked for cooperation, not dominion. Rana nodded, deep in thought as aid ships pulled away. A new alert flashed on the Returner's monitors. Unknown fleet near Mars prime orbit. No diplomatic flag, no announcement. The ship system clarified. Unknown type, cloaked signature. No overt weapons detected but approaching fast. Rana's jaw tightened. We invited cooperation, but we didn't invite threats. She turned to Eli Vance. Run full scans. Vance nodded. I'll get eyes on them. On Mars prime orbit, the unknown fleet drifted ships of strange design, unlike X-Pax or Vulcan or Rustian models. Angular hulls, dark metal. Their chips pinged. No calls yet. Mars primes come relayed. Unknown fleet holding at 7:20 minutes to Earthline. Rana tapped. Open channel. Friendly hail. The screen blinked. Then a figure appeared. Silver armor, helmet obscuring face. A voice, metallic and calm. We acknowledge your coalition. We see Earth rising again. We seek permission to land, to trade, and to help. Silence. Talia raised her eyebrow. Is this another aid offer or a test? Rana replied in the open line. Identify yourselves. Which worlds send you? The figure hesitated. We call ourselves the Oran. We come from a system beyond X-Pax space. We seek seeds of life and to share data of new bioadaptive crops. We mean no harm. The crew watched closely. Reputation unknown, intentions unclear, Rana thought. We are building alliances. This may be expansion. Or opportunity, she said aloud. Proceed. We will consider your aid. But we hold nothing hidden. We welcome you with open rights, but only after customs and registry. Within minutes, the Oran ship docked at Mars prime station under inspection protocols. Their hull-bore organic lines almost tree-like. Their scientists carried seed pods. On the gangway their envoy stepped with grace. Copper skin, silver robes, their eyes shone. She held up a pod. Is Mavalia fruit seed? It can grow in barren soils. She offered it to Rana. Rana accepted. Thank you. We will test it. She asked the Oran envoy, what else do you bring? They replied, data on adaptive wormbot soil healers, and a desire to witness Earth's renewal. That evening Earth's Unity teams placed Mavalia seeds near Rustian library woods. The fungus-like plants glowed pink. Children touched petals. Dr. Vance took core samples. Soil nutrient levels rising. Water retention, excellent. Rana recorded in her logs. Oran seeds, successful. Their aid is real. But satellite sensors picked up disturbance. Orbital debris drift. An Oran ship detected unknown objects. Probe, the Oran envoy said calmly. We sense something. Everyone posited cooperation, bring threats. That night, diplomats and coalitions met again. The Oran envoy shared soil healing tech. Alliance members nodded. Rana spoke. We welcome you, but disharmony surrounds us. We must grow trust, not only seeds. Vulcan elder said softly. Cooperation is fragile, yet hope drives us forward. X-Pax envoy added. I will host security panel for Oran and allies. We will ensure safety. The meeting ended with agreement to integrate Oran into coalition and investigate unknown threats. On the returner, deep sensors found a drifting ship. The unknown probe. It carried tracking chips unknown origin. Dr. Vance frowned. We gleaned trust from sharing, but we must learn whose eyes follow. Rana added. We planted hope, but we keep vigilance. That night on Earth's surface, families looked to Martian moon rising. Children asked, why do they come from so far? Mothers answered, because Earth shines anew. Rebel firstborn posts glowed. Watch the unknown seeds. On Meridian Station, the council logged the Oran integration. Small worlds cheered. Bigger worlds studied carefully. The council had said, Earth is no longer alone. Alliance grows. Let's guard that flame. Back on returner, Captain Rana stood with Eli Vance by the viewport. The orange ship glowed docked. Behind them, X-Pax patrol, Vulcan med ships, Rustian scouts orbited Earth, she said. Seeds of cooperation can grow forests or weeds, he replied. So we work together and watch together. She nodded. We forge alliances, not empires. They stared into starlight. The council hall of Meridian Station glowed with banners from multiple worlds. Earth's emblem seedling sprouting sat beside X-Pax, Vulcan, Rustian, and Oran symbols. The hall hummed as delegates took their places. Captain Rana stood before them, flanked by Dr. Eli Vance and Ambassador Talia behind them. Partner envoys nodded. X-Pax engineer Inara, Vulcan medic Drix, Rustian scholar Merrick, and Oran envoy Sila. Each represented worlds that chose cooperation over conflict. A hush fell as Rana spoke. Today we stand together, guardians, not conquerors. We face a test, to use power with care, to shield life, to act in unity. Behind the scenes, military monitors tracked the drifting probe unregistered fleet near Mars prime orbit. Pilots buzzed. Admiral Garrox tapped his console. Probe is scanning coalition ships. They ask no questions. He frowned. This cannot stand. He sent a note. Initiate security protocol. Earth's envoy, Lieutenant Mara, reviewed sensor logs. It's Oran-style tech, but alien. No hostile weapon signatures, but direct scans of crews. Rana weighed the data. We welcome partners, but some eyes hunt for weakness. We must act. In the council hall, a Voltan diplomat spoke. Should invite that vehicle in as gesture of trust or we risk more suspicion, Rustian scholar added. Transparency wins unity. Xbax envoy paused. We trust Earth, but no surprises. Rana stood. We offer them a seat at our table if they approach with honesty. Outside the hall, Ambassador Sila guided the Oran envoy again to the docking bay. The probe floated nearby. Xbax patrols and Earth shield vessels scanned them as group. Watched on the dance floor-sized docking bay, lights steadied on Oran and She removed her helmet revealing copper skin and silver eyes. Scylla introduced her. This is Holly's, second from Oran leadership. Holly's bowed, her voice soft. We offer cooperation, not surveillance. She gestured toward the probe. It carries records biome scans, healing patterns. We meant no hostility. Rana looked at crew faces curious but calm. Holly's continued. Let your partner shields run a scan. If friendly, we dock, then share logs. A pause followed. Rana finally nodded. Do that under joint inspection. Issa and Mara exchanged relief glances. Sensors verified no danger. Lights flicked from scan display. Benign signature. Rana pressed. Welcome, Hollies. You are among friends. The probe's scanners powered down. She smiled. We stand with you. Hails rang through the docking bay as she boarded the council deck and council hall. She spoke. It is trust that built my people. You share that now. Earth's strength lies not in its soil, but in its unity. Silence followed. Diplomatic applause broke out. Delegates stood. Outside, in a living room near the memorial gardens, humans and Xbax sat by lanterns. Children played across species. A screen displayed council summary. Probe integrated. Oran partnership deepened. Final treaty prepared for signing. Whispers filled the room. This is history. Back in orbit, the coalition vessels grouped. Earth's returner. Xbax shield. Cruisers. Voltan medical ships. Rustian supply freighters. Oran Garden Dash class. They tested shield nets together, interlinking power sources, synchronizing beams, drawing a symbol visible even from orbit, a ring of lights in solidarity. Captain Rana commanded the test. On my mark. Now, light spilled across the sky as shields extended from ship to ship, connecting planets. On Earth, sensors recorded the shimmer, a promise of unity. That night, they reconvened in Mirrodin Hall for the final vote. Rana spoke softly. Let this alliance be sealed. Let this covenant stand. We guard life, respect, culture, build peace. Empire. She watched as Xbax envoy gave her nod. Voltan representative smiled. Rustian delegate closed her eyes. Oran hummed in approval. The unanimous vote cast. Yes. Guardian's charter ratified. In the plaza, music played, flags waved. People cheered from every species. Captain Rana stood beside Admiral Garrix and Hollies. Each held a small sapling symbol of life's growth. On cue. They planted them together between earthroot etchings. Rana lifted her voice. We came for justice. We stayed for unity. Now we renew, not conquer. These are Earth's guardians. A roar of applause erupted as guardianship became reality. Weeks later, coalition ships journeyed off with fronted humanitarian convoys. Xbax engineers building clinics, Voltan peace vessels inspecting borderlines, Rustians restoring archives, Oran biotech seeding new life on barren moons. Each crew shared meals with locals. Each team's mission gripped in notes. Aid, not rule. On Earth in the Memorial Plaza, Captain Rana placed the sapling in Earth's soil. She read the inscription. We came, we rebuilt. We guard to honor the past and protect tomorrow. She tapped the ground and said, may this stand over centuries. Above Apollo's moon saw a chain of new satellites and shield arrays circling. Earth not weapons but guardians watchful, protective. On Returner's bridge, Rana looked toward Starfield's. Crew quietly celebrated. Her voice, into the log. Our mission ended in war. Our path continues in peace. We are guardians still. The end. In a hidden Earth tunnel, children gathered around Dr. Vance. He told them the story of today. He ended. Remember, power makes us strong but compassion makes us worthy. The children nodded, eyes full of stars. On Mirrodin Station, the council flights buzzed. The banner hung, Guardians of Tomorrow, and somewhere beyond, other lost worlds, heard the message. We guard life, not take it.